Hi everybody, welcome back. Alright, I'm gonna vlog a little bit today because I'll show you what's going on, okay? Sorry about that. Sorry that you just got to see my nose. Welcome to what is going to be the new working office craft space. If you've been around, then you know that I've said that this was the office, well, it still is the office, but it was mostly Jimmy's office, and if you looked around at the decor, you can tell that it's very man cave-ish for the most part. Even my desk has very man cave-ish stuff with the beautiful real camo, real tree type of camouflage curtains. Sorry, let me just fix that. And it was Wolf Danish, and it really has been Jim's dream for a long time to have such a space. As long as I've known him, let's put it that way. When I first met him, he was very to himself. He didn't have a lot of friends growing up because his parents, his father was in the Air Force and he moved around a lot. And I know some people who are Air Force children, sometimes there's like two schools. There's people who then can get to know everybody because they've always had to get to know everybody. But then there's those who are shy and don't make friendships, like Jim's situation. He doesn't make friendships because in his brain, he'll only have a friend for 3 years and then he'll move. So that's a psychological thing that he's gotten over a little bit, hopefully. But he does tend to want to be by himself a little bit. He likes his alone time. But he mostly likes just to want to play games. So if he gets the opportunity to play on his game systems or on the computer, then he's happy. That's his happy place. It's not my happy place. Especially now that I haven't been working, I kind of feel like I have to compete with that video games, which is kind of sad. And I feel bad for him because at times when he's even working the 2 jobs, then his time off is limited. And I really want him to be able to enjoy his time off so that he can relax to get ready for the next day of work. But that being said, he needs to try, and he's been working on it and he's been doing really well, try to find a balance between his alone time and the time we spend together. And I often say to him under, I don't want to say under duress isn't the right word, but under concern is just say, does the time with me not make you happy, you know, as much as it is video games? But he does say that, no, it's both. It's just that he needs a balance. So he's trying to learn balance of how to spend his free time. Okay. I tell you that to tell you this. When his computer was in here, I never saw him. He used to he would do his Bible study here. He would play on his computer here. Everything except playing on the Xbox. And the Xbox he never wanted to play on when I was out there because he felt like he was taking the TV away from me. But I reminded him, and it took me a while for us to figure that out. But I reminded him that when we lived in New York, the computer was in the living room on purpose. Because I said, I'd rather you be sitting on the computer with you in the room with me. At least it feels like we're together. I'm not alone and I'm not single. So he used to always have his headphones on and he'd play at the computer. And if I needed him, I would just get up and go talk to him or whatever. So before I decided to make this the workspace, he had evacuated. He had taken the computer out of here. It actually was primarily necessity at first because we had a Wi-Fi booster. The Wi-Fi is on Mom's end of the house. And we had a Wi-Fi booster that boosted the signal to here. And it was sort of intermittently good and sort of intermittently bad. So it was frustrating for him at times where he'd be in the middle of playing World of Warcraft and the system would slow down or such. I'm just going to do this because it's bothering me that it's going in and out. So hold on one second. Okay, now it won't keep going in and out. Okay. So it used to get frustrating for him to have the signal come in and out. So then he moved his computer out of here. He actually disassembled his computer altogether and just took it down and wasn't playing on the computer and just used the space for Bible study. Then we started doing a couples Bible study. We did that together in the bedroom. Excuse me. We did that together in the bedroom. So then the office started to become a little bit of a storage space, which really frustrated me because this is where my craft stuff is, and mind the mess. So that QB system from IKEA with those boxes is most of my craft stuff. Sorry about that. The QBs that are in that Expedit bookshelf are my craft supplies. Most of my craft supplies, and before I started my YouTube channel, really were everything that wasn't related to sewing was in those QBs. And that's why there's 16 cubbies, but I only have 12 boxes because 4 of them are decorated because we didn't have that much stuff. Not a lot of stuff survived the hurricane, and without a job, building stuff back up again was a little bit of a trouble. But some stuff did survive, so that was good. Anyway, I tell you that to tell you this. Isn't this the longest short story you've ever heard in your whole life? So what I was doing was crafting in the kitchen, which is just outside the office door. One day I'm going to do a live stream and tour the house physically, so you guys can ask me questions and I can walk you through how the house is laid out and stuff. So, but not until I finish this space, because no, this is first and foremost. Anyway, so what I was having to do was to take out whatever box I needed supplies wise and bring it to the kitchen table. Then I have a basket. It's a wire basket with a canvas insert that if you saw my shoe organizing, I had a clip in one of the videos of a shoe organizing thing that I did from baskets from the Dollar General. I also showed it on my Instagram. But they're basically these metal baskets that have... Actually, can I get it out? Might be able to get it out. Actually can get it out. Hold on. So it looks like this. And it's got like where you could make a label. It's metal. I got them online at the throughthecountrydoor.com. You know, a lot of stuff comes from that, or came from that, because I don't shop there anymore. So I always had that, and that had my crafting tools. And what I mean by that is my glue gun, my glue sticks, my bag of paints that I use often. Like here's the white, here's the off-white, here's the black chalk paint. And my bag of glues. So here is my super glue, and here is my Mod Podge, and here is my glue sticks. Not glue sticks, the Elmer's pens, and the spray adhesive, and the fabric glue, and then all of the Aleene's tacky. It's also where I kept my extra Gorilla Glue sticks and my extra Gorilla Glue gun. Then I had in there the bag of jute, because everybody needs a bag of jute, right? And what I had in there was a bag of paintbrushes, because everybody needs a bag of paintbrushes. But I always organized my stuff in Ziploc bags, and I stored it in this basket. And even when I went to Texas, that basket came with me, and that was my supplies. Those are my tools that I need for like everyday crafting. Floral wire and extra beads and that kind of stuff. So, I tell you that to tell you this. This is a long story, isn't it? Forgive me for the length of this story. But anyway, so when I would craft at the kitchen table, I'd have the box was here, this basket with all the stuff, and then I'd have to bring out whatever season box that I needed. Like, my boxes are organized. I have 2 floral boxes. I'd say floral crafts 1 and 2, paper crafts, pens, pencils, and markers, paint, specialty paint, ribbon, burlap ribbon. I think that's a miscellaneous box. Glues and adhesives, scrapbooking, and Christmas and holiday. So I had basically sort of tried to do that. That's how my organization was. And then in my guest room, which was initially going to be where I was going to craft, but I'll explain why it wasn't at first, was all of my sewing stuff, my extra fabrics, my sewing projects to be pending. Like all of that basket is pending sewing projects. It's just not convenient to do all of them when you don't have your sewing machine set up. It's a lot different if somebody says, can you hem these pants? If I could just go over to where the sewing machine is and go zip, 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 pants are hemmed. All I have to worry about is changing threads and stuff. But right now, and I'm going to show you, so mind the mess, sorry. So here is what's going to be my craft area. So there is a table here. This table is Mom's old kitchen table. It's got a metal legs and skirt, apron skirt. It's very country, and sort of a pine top. That's really not finished well. It actually has like oil stains and stuff. So this is going to be my craft table, and I have this, this was a desk organizer that was in my guest room, but actually I just had it at home with papers in it. Actually, I had it at work in my office for a long time too. So I've put in here some felt and floor and foam, and then my craft mat. My scissors sit here. Because it falls over, I just cut a piece of toilet paper tube to shove in here to keep the scissor from falling over, and it actually works really well. I had pens in here and extra glasses. Then this is a sewing box, this metal box. So I've got my 2 fabric scissors, some fabric glue, and then different things I use for sewing, tape measures, and you know, this is to turn in tubes. So different Velcros and stuff. And then here, what's going to eventually be a put away item is this little basket that I got at Target. Is going to have, these are my straight pins, my iron, and my cute little pin chair. And then this right here is sort of, I don't want to say a catch-all because that's not the right word. But what that is, ooh, that was fun. What that is the basket of things that don't have a home. Okay, so I bought these because I saw them and I was inspired, and I was like, oh, they're so pretty. They could be the legs on a project once, or they could be like fill them with beads or make ornaments. But I never had a fruition to it. So that's sort of, they go here. Aunt Sue gave me these really great, I want to say they're 5x7 tiles that she had was donating, and there's like 5 of them, and I was like, well, find something to do with them. So I just took them from her. So just stuff like that, where my extra extension cord, the little soap pumps that I'm going to do for Emily, this foam bowl that was my first attempt at the fabric thing that ended up, I went to go push in. You guys remember I was pushing in? I went to go push in, and there was actually a hole in the styrofoam, like a divot in the styrofoam, a sinkhole. So I was like, well, we're not going to use that one. But anyway, so I'm trying to get it all together here. You know, organizing is really easy for some people. For me, I feel like my brain has 2 halves. The creative side and the organized side. The clean side and the messy side. And they very rarely work together. If I'm in a creative space, I'm not going to be organized. If I'm in an organized space, it's very difficult for me to be creative, which is one of the reasons that I don't sell crafts for a living, because I can't force myself to be creative. That's really what it comes down to. So right now, being January 1st, I want to get the room organized. I know it's going to be a long process, and I wanted to have a video for you guys of it, but it's going to be such a long process, I don't even know how I would do a video. So I'm just going to document it along the way, and maybe we'll compile something. As always, you take care, God bless, and we'll see you next time. Bye!